Hey everybody, and Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. I've got a few new subscribers, which is great, so thanks for tuning in. And I've been meaning to do some videos, but I've been like sick the last 2-3 weeks, and it's gotten better, but it's coming back. It's just that time of year. But I hope everyone's having a great year, and I wanted to start out with another UFO video. So I had come across this video about this thing called like the Jellyfish UFO, and I'm going to show you the video now and explain. So I had asked questions and tried to get the answers, try to channel the answers about what this was and where it came from. So first of all, there's a lot of videos out there that talk about, like if you're into this kind of stuff, like is this a government, for example, the government has reverse engineered UFO technology and tried to mimic what we found or observed or captured in the past few decades. So this was not what they call like a false flag operation. This was literally recorded by the military and leaked. So it wasn't like anything created by us, but we do have one of these in our possession from what I understand. Let me show you the video real quick. It's a drone or a little droid, kind of like you see in Star Wars. It's crazy, and it's floating through the air. And, you know, it's observing, and it can collect things and pick things up. That's what its arms are for. Okay, so here's a video of the actual Jellyfish UFO. You can look it up. There's a lot of footage. It's the same video over and over. But you can see it. Let me see. Flying through the air.
The entry and the exit to and from the water,
which
would allow the source to be...
It's the same shot that you're going to see over and over again. So just to explain it a bit further, it's okay. So what I heard when I was told when I was asking these questions about where it came from and what it was. So the reason you're seeing it like this, and they explain this part in the video or other videos, you couldn't see it if you just looked at it, or even with night vision goggles. So you had to use this is thermal. It's like a thermal filter that only picks up thermal imaging. That's how they're able to see it. So what I heard was it is physical, because remember, aliens exist in different dimensions physically, different densities, just like we do. And but this thing was physical, like dense physical, like you and I, not like lighter frequencies or existing on a different plane of or physical dimension. So from what I was told, this thing was physical and cloaked. So that's the reason it was there and couldn't be seen, and
be identified.
So,
I don't know. I mean, from what I understand, though, I understand Jeremy's...
Let me mute it here and keep playing it. But okay, so you can see it here, and you can see some level of detail a second ago, which is kind of crazy. But when you look at it, that's why they call it the Jellyfish UFO. You can see kind of the top part, and then this part hanging down here. So this is back in 2018 again, so you can see that. So it was a while back, but there's one more shot I want to show you. I think right before they zoom in, well, shoot, let me see. That's a different shot of the same type of probe that they saw. Okay, I think this is the one I'm thinking about then, where they show the more detail. Other channels, I think they zoom in. Sorry, I had to make it a little bit smaller just to get around the copyright guidelines. But so you can kind of see there, it's like a little robot. And it's got like a head part here and tendrils or arms, a couple of them that hang down. And I had asked what that's for, and what I heard was it's used to grab things. So this thing is like, like if it wants to find something or grab something or take a sample, it can like fly around. It's like those little rovers that we send to Mars, just an advanced version of it. And you can see how slow and steady this is moving. And like the lady was saying earlier in the video, with no detectable form of propulsion. So it's a very advanced, whatever this is, that's kind of spying on us down here. So anyways, there's the video of what it looks like. Okay, so there it is. And just to kind of summarize everything, of course, with our new United States Space Force, it's kind of like Star Trek. We're getting out there into outer space to explore planets and interact with other civilizations. There are planets and dimensions and beings that are extremely old that are out there and that have been aware of us and observing us for quite some time. Recently, as we've been making our way, remember our technology has really only exponentially grown in the past 100, 1 or 200 years. As long as humans have been around, we went from horseback and written mail to cars and commercial flights and email, electronic, social media. Now we're in outer space. All this happened just in a few decades, and now we're like in the beginnings of AI, which is amazing too. So there's some crazy technology out there for that, and it's just getting started here on Earth. But it has reached unbelievable potential in these other advanced civilizations. So anyway, sorry. Just to kind of summarize, there are, just like in Star Trek, there's planets out there of advanced beings. The government is preparing us for full disclosure. I mean, there have been more and more videos where they admit to viewing these things, just like this object, and saying they don't know what it is, which is not true. They know what it is, and they know where it's coming from. So a good analogy is like the United Nations, right? There's a lot of planets, and there's federations out there, and there's more than one. There's not just like one massive federation across the universe. It's like, but there is, like a United Nations, for example, and there's, good and there's bad actors, and there's people that are kind of in the middle somewhere. So that being said, there's a strict non-interference policy, and there are some rules where they can, if they have to step in, they can, for example, but they are not to meddle in. They talk about this in Star Trek too, which is weird, but it's like a non-interference protocol, unless explicitly invited. They're not to interfere in the natural unfolding or order of things. So that being said, there's like UFO whistleblowers that talk about this sort of thing and have been for decades too, which is curious, and it's coming to light again. So I totally believe in that sort of thing, and I've asked these questions too. I've gotten the same answer. Now, this droid is calling it a droid, but it came from a planet that's part of this federation, but it's not allowed. They're not supposed to be observing. So whatever this was, is from a place part of this greater federation, but it's not supposed to be sending droids or down here to just like fly through our military areas or conflict zones. So when I asked that question, that's what I heard. Not only that, but from what I understand, we've actually brought one of these down, the U.S. military, and have one in our possession. So they know what this is, and they know it comes from an alien planet. But that's kind of their stopping point for now, as far as letting us know their knowledge of such things. And again, I think we're getting close to, because these alien civilizations are in contact not just with the United States, but with other major world leaders and powers, as we all make ourselves, more known in outer space and here on Earth. So full disclosure and first contact is inevitable. It's just a matter of when. How the world government and the United States government slowly breaks this news to us, which they are, and when we'll start to observe these things more and more. There's more footage. There's a lot of CGI and AI generated and hoaxes and things out there, but there's some genuine footage of UFOs and even like interdimensional beings and things caught on camera. Everybody has a camera nowadays, so we're also getting to that point where this sort of thing, where it could only be observed and not recorded, we can record these sorts of things more and more. So not all of them, because remember, like, this thing was cloaked, so your phone wouldn't have been able to pick it up, unless Apple has like a new thermal imaging app. But so there it is. That's what it was, and that's where it comes from. So it comes from a planet. I don't know which one or anything like that, but that's all I've been able to put together so far. So fascinating stuff. From what I understand, this is very real. It's not a government set up this sort of thing to kind of fool us or trick us. There's a theory in the UFO kind of community too, where the United States and other world actors, they're kind of creating false scenarios to unite us against an outside threat. So when full disclosure happens, we'll be more together. Excuse me. I used to be against this and for full disclosure, but I understand the need for caution now. And I've thought this over the past few years, and I was going to do another video on it, but I think there's a good reason for that. And I'm not totally against it. It's a good reason these things have been kept secret, and it's slowly coming to light. We'll know eventually, but carefully, and it's not for evil purposes. It's actually for good reason. And we'll leave it at that for now. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video, found it fascinating. If you love UFOs like I do, I think this is cool stuff. So thanks again for watching, and again, Happy New Year, and we'll see you later.